Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Let's do it.
All right, today we're going global, looking at trends in movies, TV, and streaming all over the world.
A lot to cover.
There is, and we've got articles piled up here about international hits, new projects that have people talking, even some revivals that are tapping into that nostalgia factor.
Nostalgia's big business these days, that's for sure.
Absolutely, but first, I got to talk about this Turkish drama explosion. Seriously. Did you know Turkey is now the third RD biggest exporter of TV shows?
Yeah.
They're challenging Hollywood. It's wild.
Yeah, their productions are top-notch. Got to give them credit for that.
So we've got stars like Yaman, Meryem Uzerli,
Bariş Baktaş.
Yağmur Yüksel, all in these shows that are gaining international audiences like El Turco, Vendetta.
Great examples. Those are grabbing attention.
But what's really fascinating to me, and I'm curious what you think, is what makes Turkish storytelling so unique? Why is it connecting with viewers all over the world?
That's a good question. I think part of it is the emphasis on family. You know, those strong relationships, loyalty, betrayals, that kind of stuff.
Those themes are universal, for sure.
Exactly. Plus, you've got the Turkish landscape itself, beautiful architecture, even the food. All that adds to the appeal.
It's like being transported to another world.
But with stories that resonate no matter where you're from.
Now, switching gears to the film world, Thailand's making history with its first Oscar-shortlisted entry for Best International Feature Film ever.
Yeah, How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies, directed by Boonnitipat.
The title alone got my attention.
It's a clever one, for sure, and the film's doing really well, mixing comedy and drama. Pretty relatable premise, too, a grandson trying to, secure his inheritance before his grandma passes away.
$73.8 million at the global box office. People are loving it.
Clearly. Shows you there's an appetite for these fresh perspectives. Audiences are tired of the same old thing.
So you think Hollywood's starting to feel the heat a little?
I think Hollywood's always going to be a force, but it's definitely not the only game in town anymore, and that's a good thing.
Competition breeds innovation.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Hollywood, though, Brad Pitt, huge star. He just finished filming a Formula One movie directed by Joseph Kosinski.
The Top Gun Maverick guy.
That's the one. Pitt's playing a veteran driver, mentoring a rookie, played by Damson Idris.
June release, they're aiming for that summer blockbuster crowd.
I'm curious, though, about the tone. Will it be realistic racing or more like over-the-top Hollywood action?
Kosinski knows how to deliver spectacle, that's for sure.
Right. But I'm also wondering about Pitt's role. Is he going for depth here or just a fun action flick?
Could be both. Pitt's a talented guy. He can surprise you.
Okay, from fast cars to a historical figure, Jude Law is going to be Henry VIII in Firebrand.
That casting was interesting, I thought.
And his prep for the role is intense. I mean, cheek plumpers to match Henry's face.
Even a custom-made scent to, get this, replicate Henry VIII's leg ulcers?
Wow, dedication. But does that level of method acting actually translate to a better performance? I mean, is it effective or is it just for the headlines?
It's a debate that never ends in the acting world. Some say it's the only way to truly embody a character.
Others say it can mess with your head.
Exactly. But it definitely gets people talking. And for a film, that's never bad, is it?
True. Now let's get a little business-minded here. Big shakeup, Derek Chang is set to become CEO of Liberty Media next year.
Liberty Media, they own Formula One, MotoGP.
Big stuff.
Yeah, Chang's got a background in media and investments, previously CEO at the DirecTV Group. This could mean major changes for those sectors.
Global expansion, maybe?
Could be new investment strategies, definitely something to keep an eye on for fans of F1 and MotoGP.
For sure. Okay, got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Netflix is launching a stop-motion My Melody and Kuromi series.
Sanrio characters, gotta love them.
Total nostalgia play. But what's cool is that the pandemic actually shaped the writing process.
Really?
Yeah, the creators used the lockdown time to develop the storyline.
That's kind of poetic, turning isolation into something creative.
It is, right? And speaking of unique stories, there's a new sales agency, Jumbika Docs. Their focus is on amplifying diverse voices in documentaries.
Love to see that.
Their debut film is Her Name is Nanny Nellie, exploring Aboriginal identity. So important to get those stories out there.
Totally agree. Representation matters, and Jumbika Docs is walking the walk.
Now, for fans of Nordic cinema, big news. Rakuten TV is launching a dedicated channel.
About time.
I know, right? Think Mads Mikkelsen, Alexander Skarsgård, those intense atmospheric stories that just pull you in.
Nordic cinema has a mood all its own, and now it'll be easier than ever to access.
But does going mainstream risk diluting what makes it so special?
It's a valid concern, but I think if it's curated well, it can introduce a whole new audience to this amazing genre.
Fingers crossed. Okay, let's end this part of our deep dive with something, well, a little darker.
Hit me with it.
Sandro Aguilar's first-person plural is premiering at the Rotterdam Film Festival. It's being described as a deep exploration of hallucinations and melancholia.
Aguilar's not afraid to go to those dark places. His films tend to stay with you.
So not exactly light entertainment, then.
Let's just say it's going to be a thought-provoking experience and probably not a feel-good movie of the year contender.
Intriguing. Okay, that wraps up part one of our global entertainment exploration, but we've got lots more to come, from the impact of streaming to the future of storytelling itself.
Buckle up.
Exactly. Stay tuned for part two, coming up after the break.
It's really amazing to see just how much the entertainment landscape has changed, even in the last few years.
Oh, absolutely. And remember when we were talking about Jude Law and Firebrand?
Yeah.
All that intense prep work, the cheek plumpers, that custom-made scent to, well...
To replicate Henry VIII's leg ulcers, yeah.
That's the one. I mean, does all that really make a difference? Does it guarantee a better performance?
Well, some actors swear by it, that total immersion, becoming the character inside and out.
But others say it can be too much, that you lose yourself in the process.
And that can be dangerous. I guess it depends on the actor, their process.
Right, and what the role demands. Maybe some characters need that level of intensity, others not so much.
We'll have to see how it plays out with Firebrand, but it's definitely gotten people talking about the film.
No such thing as bad publicity, right? Okay, gotta talk about streaming. It's completely changed the game, especially Netflix. They're everywhere.
Global powerhouse, that's for sure. And their push for international content is really smart.
They're not just buying finished shows, they're developing originals all over the world.
Tapping into local talent, telling those stories that might not have had a chance before.
So it's not just about profits, there's a creative element too.
Absolutely. And it benefits everyone. Viewers get more variety, filmmakers get their work seen by a wider audience.
Sometimes you just need a break from the usual Hollywood stuff, right?
Totally. International shows offer different perspectives, new voices. It's refreshing.
And we were talking about Nordic cinema earlier. That Rakuten TV channel, do you think that'll make a difference?
Oh, I think so. Nordic cinema has been building a following for years. This just gives it a bigger platform.
What do you love most about it? For me, it's the visuals, those landscapes, so stark and beautiful.
They create this incredible atmosphere, and the stories, they really get under your skin, exploring those dark corners of human nature.
Yeah, it's not just entertainment, it's thought-provoking. Makes you confront some uncomfortable truths.
And that's powerful. When a film can do that, stay with you long after you've seen it.
Let's shift gears a bit. Talk about animation. It's not just for kids anymore.
It never was, really, but we're seeing more animated films and series tackling mature themes, which is great.
And what's interesting is that alongside all the CGI advancements, traditional techniques are having a moment too, like stop motion.
That My Melody and Kuromi series on Netflix is a perfect example. There's something so charming about stop motion.
It's like pure magic, watching these inanimate objects come to life.
It's a reminder that handcrafted artistry still has a place in a world that's so obsessed with technology.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Okay, got to circle back to something we touched on earlier. Diversity and representation in the entertainment industry, it's so important.
Couldn't agree more. We're seeing some progress, but there's still a long way to go.
For years, Hollywood and even the global film industry has been telling the same kinds of stories from the same perspectives.
It's time to broaden the scope, give voice to those who haven't been heard.
Jambika Docs, with their focus on documentaries about underrepresented communities, that's a step in the right direction.
They're showing that those stories have an audience, that people are hungry for different perspectives.
And the industry benefits too, right? More diversity means richer stories, more creative energy.
It challenges us, makes us think differently, expands our understanding of the world.
You know, as we've been talking, I keep thinking about how the very definition of entertainment is changing.
In what way?
It's not just about escape anymore. It's about engagement. Audiences want more from their movies, their TV shows.
They want to be challenged intellectually, emotionally.
They want to see the world reflected back at them in all its complexity.
So entertainment as a form of social commentary, a way to spark conversations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. It raises the stakes, makes storytelling more meaningful.
It also puts more responsibility on creators to be truthful, to handle these themes with sensitivity and nuance.
So where do we go from here? What's the future of entertainment, in your opinion?
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What's next? But I think if we look at everything we've talked about today, there's a clear pattern. Things are getting blurry.
Blurry. Okay, gotta elaborate on that.
The lines, they're fading, like between film and television. It's all merging together.
Yeah, with streaming, you can watch a whole season of a show in a weekend. Feels like one giant movie sometimes.
And the talent's moving back and forth, too. Actors, directors, doing both film and TV. The old categories don't really apply anymore.
So is that a good thing for storytelling, or does it just create more noise, make it harder to break through?
I'm going to go with good thing. It gives creators more freedom, more ways to tell their stories, experiment with different formats.
Like miniseries, anthology shows, it's all over the place.
And that's exciting. Keeps things fresh.
And what about the international wave? Is that going to keep building momentum?
No doubt about it. Audiences are hungry for it, and platforms like Netflix are happy to provide it. They've got the global reach.
Imagine a world where subtitles are just like normal, no big deal.
Wouldn't that be cool? We could be watching movies and shows from all over the world, expanding our horizons, connecting with different cultures.
It's almost like a form of global empathy through storytelling.
Exactly.
But what about the stories themselves? Any predictions on what themes will resonate in the future?
I think we're going to see more stories grappling with real-world issues, climate change, social injustice, all the things that people are struggling with.
So not just escape anymore, but engagement, like we were talking about earlier.
People want entertainment that reflects their reality, that makes them think, that starts conversations.
It sounds like a golden age, but also a more demanding one for creators, for audiences.
The bar is higher, for sure, but that pushes everyone to be better, to tell more meaningful stories.
It's a lot to take in, but I'm energized by it. So many possibilities.
Me too. The entertainment landscape is wide open right now, and who knows what the future holds.
Well, I feel like we've just scratched the surface today. There's so much more to explore.
Always is. That's the beauty of it. There's always something new to discover.
Huge thanks to you for guiding us through this deep dive. It's been a blast.
Anytime, always happy to talk about movies, TV, the whole entertainment world.
And everyone listening, thanks for joining us. Keep exploring, keep an open mind, because the world of entertainment is vast and waiting to be discovered. Until next time.